Hi there, Leo, and welcome to your September 2016 reading. Really great to see everyone again, and I can't wait to interpret the cards and see what's coming through for you. As we always start this month off, we'll look at our channeled information. Oh, by the way, I meant to mention you can look at this for your rising sign, for your moon sign, and of course for your sun, which is the main focus. But if you know your moon and your ascendant or your rising, feel free to look at those as well. Or if you are one of those checking this out, I just wanted to let you know, yes, this applies. All right, with that out of the way. Every month I take a look at some channeled information for each sign. I pull the cards and then I expand the forecast. Your channeled information this month is that there may be a need to follow regulations or rules or law or something like that in your area, in your school, in your business. And the interesting thing here with compliance is it basically is taking some pressure off and saying, you know what, part of being in an organized society or in a large group is sometimes we just have to take a deep breath, get the paperwork done and move on. And so for you, that's what I'm sort of encouraging you to do, is wherever there's things in your life that just need to be kept up with. So this can include your income tax, it can include any sort of legal obligations you have, and again, any sort of, sometimes it's just paperwork, but if you're working for a big company, there may be just some requirements that drive you crazy. I would say get those done this month, because there could be an audit, there could be an unexpected check-in with you, and if you have it finished, it's going to make you look fantastic. So, and either way, it's going to help you in the long run because it will free you up from having to do it. A lot of times we put these things off because they're not fun. All right, so with that out of the way, we'll look at your cards. And then I'm going to shuffle the deck, but I'll talk a little bit as I'm doing this. This month, in honor of Back to School, when I take a look at your Catalyst card, I want to see what the learning opportunity is for you. So that's something that may seem worse than it is or may seem complicated, but with the help of this Catalyst card this month, the focus is on what is the lesson and what is the way that we can take it from a shadow to something that's much more illuminated and much more beneficial to sort of help you with. All right. Now let's take a look at that Catalyst card for you, and I'll give it one more shuffle. And your Catalyst this month is transformation or death. And so a lot of times people will freak out with this, but I love this illustration of death or transformation, because instead of showing something frightening, we see it's a doorway. And so many of you, this is reversed. There could be a resistance to go through that door or to create the opportunity that's going to kind of unshackle you. And I see the Devil card here, and these two often go hand in hand. Often the Tower comes through as well. So your opportunity this month is to see what looks like a dead end or a missed opportunity as another way to go down a different path, basically. So you're avoiding possibly a path that could have caused pain, disappointment, or wouldn't have worked out as great as you thought it would have. So it's a hidden blessing. Let's look at the cards and we'll better interpret that learning opportunity, but I'm already a little heartened by that. Okay, your center card is Two of Wands. Two of Wands is a beautiful card for the center here, because it's really about you starting to look at where you want to go next. And this may be sort of the aftershock of whatever caused this transformative event in your life, or it could just be an encouragement for you to take the time to plan. Because sometimes it doesn't matter if you are single, if you have a family, if you're a student, we get so caught up in sort of the minutia of every single day that we forget, hey, why am I doing this again? Or what is the long-term goal? And so the Two of Wands encourages you to anchor yourself with your goal in life, or your goal at the moment. If you're an athlete, maybe it's to make the next sort of, to win a medal at a regional event so that you can get higher up and go to a national event. If you're a musician, it could be to just get through this song so you can get back to the other songs on the album. Start to track your progress, and if it helps, if you work with vision boards, I sort of got a glance of it, putting something on your refrigerator or on a bulletin board, and start to see what it is that you want and feel like it's obtainable, okay? Six of Swords, this card is showing that for you, I actually got the message, walk away. Walk away from whatever is causing you the stress. And if you feel blocked, for those of you that are creative, find something else, either in the circle of that project or work, or something altogether different. Maybe it's just relaxing and watching television, or playing a computer game, or taking a hike. Something that's going to shift your mental focus and allow you to relax. And then if you come back a couple hours, couple days later, things will seem a lot less complicated to you. All right. What I'm looking at here for the previous month leading into this month is, I feel a lot of you've done the hard work, let's say the busy work, and maybe this is part of the reason that you might need a little bit of break and a little bit of perspective. But Knight of Pentacles is pretty positive. It is showing, opportunities that have already come up, and that maybe if you haven't already sort of started to execute or take advantage of them, you should. So if you had an opportunity to go out on an interview and haven't done that, you should capitalize on that. If you've been saving up your money, congratulate yourself on that, and pay attention to how far you've come, rather than maybe how much debt you still have or whatever. This is showing, wait a second, let's celebrate the small victory that I just had, which is great. All right, Knight of Swords in reverse in your recent past position is saying that in the week leading up to this reading, until you tuning into this, some things are just kind of going slower than anticipated. It can feel like you were going 100 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden you hit a traffic jam. And now it's time to sort of take a deep breath and see what the pause is for. And if you haven't reached this yet, it's actually saying then slow down a little bit and just look left and right and make sure that you haven't missed something. Because remember, your channeled information was compliance. So if you were slowed down, take the time to basically clean everything up, both on a physical and metaphysical, and also on a business platform. You want to make sure that everything is looking good and feeling good, and that you're not sort of stressing about something that you've missed. Your crowning card is Three of Wands. So even though we've gotten this Death card at the beginning saying, you know what, change is on the horizon, possibly a change of address, a job, or it could be actually someone leaving or coming into your life, because death is both. A lot of times a major shift. Whatever it is, it looks like it's a very positive change for you. The Three of Wands is fantastic. This one it's a much different view of the Three of Wands, where usually you're looking out at the water. This is showing me a path ahead, and it's also showing that a lot can happen here if you start to take time to meditate and take time to, again, sort of review and visualize. And this is a crystal deck that I'm working with, so crystal meditations will be very key to your success. All right, Page of Cups in reverse, looking at the near future, looking about 2 weeks out into the month. Probably not as easy for you to date or have success in personal relationships around that time. So if you want to start to either improve a relationship that you already have, whether it's a friendship or a loved one, or you're looking to possibly date, I would avoid it around the second week of the month. The beginning is looking much better, and as we ease out to the end of the month, also very good. When I look right now at your present state of mind, we have the beautiful King of Wands here showing me it's a very fertile month for ideas, idea generation, working in groups and brainstorming, running businesses, launching businesses. It's a very good time for anything where your mind will be used to affect productivity and money. So also for you, great signal there, basically showing that you're in control and it's going to be well received this month. So that's great for you. When we look at your environmental card with the Eight of Cups, there could be some travel, business travel for some of you. It's also a great time if you're looking for love for you just to take a long weekend to a nearby city, go with a friend if you haven't had a chance to sort of catch up. And again, if you're looking for love, this is a time to reconnect with someone you haven't been spending enough time with. This also shows a cyclical event, or things that tend to come and go in cycles. So if there's someone who you've lost touch with, they could be coming back into your life again. But what I see in the hopes and fears is this is a direct correlation to the Death card that we saw earlier. It is the Devil, and in this particular deck, it reads more as relationship than some Devil cards do. So what I want you to look at is what is the healthiest relationship in your current sort of circle of friends, and what's the least healthy. And I want you to focus more on those beneficial relationships and to release any of the relationships that feel like, ugh, why am I going back to this person? Or, this friend seems to always be needing and complaining and all of that. So I want you to really evaluate and see what's a good use of your time this month and your energy, your resources, your heart. It's also for those of you that are struggling with addiction, when I see the Devil card and I see the Eight of Cups, it reads particularly strong for those of you that deal with food and alcohol triggers. Just be very careful this month and try to, not have any of those triggers activate in you. So surround yourself by good friends. Make sure that you're going to any support meetings, and if you need help, ask for help this month. The fact that the Devil's reverse shows that it's muted energy, and it's a very good time for recovery. So if this is your time to get sober or to lose weight or to go in for a surgery, it's showing that as long as you sort of do your due diligence and check out all of the options, that go ahead and activate whatever your plan is, because you have a good chance of overcoming whatever that quote-unquote devil is for you, and becoming more victorious there. Outcome card is Three of Pentacles reversed. So, two things. First of all, I read those cards as delayed, and then the positive aspect, which is success. Three of Pentacles is a master craft card showing that basically whatever you're working on, you can be a skilled artisan, you can be recognized for it. So if you're looking to get a promotion, a raise, a publishing deal, this card is saying that it's within reach, but you need to recognize the strength within yourself, the opportunities that are around you, and you need to go after them. They're not going to come to you. So the reversals are a little trickier in that. And the other thing is, really pick your advocates and if you have like a lawyer or an agent or a publicist, I want you to look at those and make sure that they have your best interests at heart. If they do, this card's going to be wonderful. If not, that's why things are delayed or not going as fast as they could. I also want you to be cognizant of money this month. It's a better month to save than to spend, but it's certainly not a month when I see things decreasing by a significant amount. The only thing that could lead to that is the Devil card. So you want to avoid any sort of gambling this month or shifting investments too much. It's a month to stay conservative, to save, and to not indulge in spending in food and things like that. You really want to just focus on work and relationships this month. Those are your two main focus points there. For dating new people, the Devil card can be a Capricorn. I would say the Capricorn in your life you want to avoid, because it is associated in this instance with a reversed card and also an Eight of Cups, showing me some sort of a cycle there that may not be beneficial. The other thing is there is a potential for a Page of Cups coming into your life. Looks like this particular water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, could be a little less supportive or a little bit moodier than you need, because the reversal usually means someone who needs your reassurance to get where they want to be, or may bring you into a sad sort of state of mind. However, when I'm looking here at the best prospect for those of you that are single, it is in fact the King of Wands, so that would be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. And because I see the Lion here, it could be a fellow Leo here that is, looking for love, ready for a relationship. So just keep that in mind. I'm not reading this so much as a relationship. I'm seeing this as a comment on the speed with which things are happening, and then also just in regards to compliance, the letter of the law, because swords can have to do with communication, and it can definitely have to do with legal contracts. And so for you, I think it means be wary, be careful, be observant when it comes to contractual negotiations or signatures that are needed this month. All right, let's expand this out to look at your health, wealth, love, and destiny. We'll begin with health. Let me give this a shuffle. All right, so this is a really good month for you to focus on making your home feel more like a home, more comfortable. And in particular, it's really about family and home, not so much about I guess you would say like the decorations and all of that, although if it makes you feel more comfortable, great. But I'm going to say this is about your relationships that constitute your family. So whether they're in your home or it's part of your extended friend group where you're with them and you feel like you're at home, I want you to focus on intimate relationships. And then I also want you to focus on, when we're talking about compliance, this would be the only thing I would say, home repairs. So if there's a roof that needs to be fixed, if there's a drain pipe, if there's cement that's sort of buckled up outside, this is your month to do that sort of a thing. It's not so much about interior decoration. It's about the nuts and bolts of your house and making sure that everything is together so that when the next season comes, whether it's winter or spring or whatever's happening, depending on which which part of the world you're in, you're ready for it. Okay, so don't delay. For some of you, might have gone too long already. Okay, so that was your health. Let's take a look at wealth, career, opportunity, and see what exciting things are coming through for that. Some of you may wonder, like, what does my home have to do with my health? I had a great spiritual teacher in LA that reminded me that basically it's almost like your temple or your place of worship for yourself. And if it's in disarray in any way, so again, if it's in disrepair, if the roof is leaking, if it's just messy, or if it doesn't feel right, if the energy is imbalanced, then you as well are, because that's where you spend probably the second biggest amount of your time when you're sleeping. So there's a lot of energy that you're sort of absorbing. So I mentioned the interior decorating not being important. I would say unless there's a lot of clutter or it's really not clean, then spend some time cleaning and decluttering, because that's going to help your physical health. All right. Now we go on to wealth, and it was reversed, but we have healing. For some of you, if there's a recovery in your money sector, so that includes paying down debts, selling off old things that no longer suit you, getting a better job, getting a raise, focus on the fact that you've done something good for yourself. It's reverse, which means some of you need to just go after that and not be afraid. I know that it can be very frustrating if you have a lot of credit card debt or a lot of bills that are stacking up, and maybe you're sick or someone's out of work and you just feel like, I can't face these. It's hard, but it's better to know what you need to do than to have that sort of mounting up on top of you. For those of you that have been really fiscally sort of responsible, which I see for many of you, what this means is don't be afraid to, again, celebrate the success and then look a little bit into the future and say, all right, what do I want to do with this? What do I want to do in 10 years? Maybe some of you that are, in the middle of your life or last stages of working, you might be looking at early retirement, and this could be something where you could take advantage of that recent success and start to plan, put more in your 401k, etc. All right, so let's take a look at your love and relationships, which I know everybody really likes to see and always asks about. So love, what does love have to say? All right, for many of you, this could be a very tricky month. We've got the twin flame card. And so this can literally mean a twin flame coming into your life. We notice the Eight of Cups here, which is not Six of Cups for me is twin flame, but Eight of Cups shows someone from your past. And so for you, you may have already met someone in your past who was a flame, but you did not recognize them as your twin flame. I want to remind people that this is not always a romantic relationship. It can be a best friend, it can be a pet, it can be a parent. And if it's a love relationship, it's really intense and you would recognize it. A lot of times this has to do with synchronicities, events that seem to, sort of be cosmically pushed into motion. And you just you keep meeting this person unexpectedly, and you may have signs that, maybe through dreams, through visions, through your own intuition, that you're going to meet someone, and you do. That's very indicative of a twin flame. Otherwise, it could be one of these intimate relationships in your life, positive or negative, where you're going to learn a very major lesson. And with the Death card, for some of you, that could mean letting go of a twin flame, because we're not always meant to spend this incarnation with the twin flame. Part of the thought with twin flames is ultimately it's two parts of an initial soul that spend many, many lifetimes and eventually come back together towards the end when they're going to integrate. But that integration doesn't always happen in that life the first time that they meet. It could take 2 or 3 times. So for those of you that are interested in learning more about the twin flame, you can look it up a little bit. I may do a video on twin flames as well. But basically, don't stress out too much about this. Just look at your relationships in your life. It would probably be the strongest one that you've experienced so far, and that would be a twin flame. The other thing is, for some of us, the twin isn't actually incarnate, isn't part of this world, and so they can be helping us on a spiritual level. So if you kind of do a mental sweep of your friends and think, all right, maybe my twin hasn't reincarnated yet, I'm going to say a prayer to that higher self, to that other part of me that's out there, and ask for guidance, because we saw this ability to sort of look to the future and say, like, help me become all that I want to be, that I know I can be. And since I have someone rooting for me that's in the ether, that twin flame can come through on a spiritual level. Okay, so that's why there's a lot of confusion about twin flames. I just wanted to mention they don't have to be lovers. They can be any sort of relationship, intimate or otherwise. They can also be an enemy in your life, or adversary. Ultimately, they're going to come together in one life, and the two of you will be at one. But just know, could be spiritual, could be a friend, could be a pet. There's a lot of things that could happen with the twin flames, but you're going to recognize it. You won't need me to tell you that that's your twin. So if you don't feel the connection with a living person, then connect with the higher self, the higher version of that twin, and hopefully things will connect. It's weird. I thought I saw an orb in the background. Just a little cosmic nod that we're in a good place when it comes to that. All right. Finally, let's look at your destiny card. And destiny is all about where are you headed, what's coming through next. All right. So let me turn the camera down as I'm shuffling. And your destiny card is going to be this one, not the other one. And it says, beyond the mind, the heart beats. So just as I was saying, for many of you, this could be a distant soul that's helping you out, because it is talking about spiritual growth. The other thing that this is saying is your own ability to reach for your true heart's desire is what is going to really pull you, propel you towards what you want to do, and the success that you're looking for. The interesting thing on this illustration is you'll see like the DNA strands here. And what this is really saying is we can't escape our true life's purpose. A lot of times we get sidetracked and we might take a practical job, we might take on responsibilities or marry the person that our family expected us to marry. But ultimately what we truly desire, not so much like in our heart, but like in our soul and as a spiritual being, will have a way of coming out. So the closer you can get to knowing what that is, the better. A lot of times in my coaching sessions, I'll ask someone, what do you want to really do with your life? And there'll be like this long, awkward pause, and they'll say, I don't know. And so that's okay. Think if I'm asking you now and you don't know what it is, well, it's a good time to start thinking and looking at that. And it should not be what other people expect. It should be that crazy thing that you've always dreamed of doing but are afraid of. So maybe you wanted to be a ballet dancer. Maybe you wanted to be a comic book illustrator. Maybe you wanted to run a marathon. Whatever it is, think about it for a second and feel how you feel in your body when you start to allow that to be part of you, and then think, why am I not doing this? Is it because I'm afraid? Is it because I physically can't? You know, you can work through all of the things, but if they don't add up, if it's just kind of fear or others' expectations, break through it, because your opportunity, your learning opportunity was to let go of an old part of you, to reimagine something, a rebirth, a renaissance. If I were to create this deck, I would have called it Rebirth, Renaissance. I would have put a phoenix on it. But I also like the passageway here, and it's a fertile one. Notice that there are flowers blooming. So you got to go through that. You got to let go of your old self, and then something new can come. All right, let's wrap up and look at everything. I like to do a recap. I know it helps. So your central theme this month was not to put off anything that has to be done. Compliance is sometimes a necessary part of corporations, of just being a citizen in a country that's organized, you just have to go through the laws and the rules and the regulations. It's going to help you out. Your Catalyst learning card this month is all about transformation, rebirth, death if needed, but death that's going to lead to a better, more enlightened path. Part of what I was talking about was allowing yourself to project and think of the future, the Two of Wands, to walk away from that which no longer suits you, to celebrate the success many of you have had in regards to work or money. I'm seeing that overall money's okay for you this month. That's a good thing. If you're slowing down, then take advantage of that to just basically go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. And if you're going 100 miles an hour, then maybe just pause and make sure you're not missing something along the way. Overall, Three of Wands showing delayed success, but eventual success when it comes to business, when it comes to being recognized, which is good. Watch out for friends, family members, or even your own emotions this month if any of those are sort of bringing you down. If that's the case, go back to your big ideas, because I really feel like that's your key to being recognized, being successful. Patent your ideas if you have something before sharing them. They're strong and they're worthy of that. Two cards that go hand in hand, the Eight of Cups showing cycles and returns, and the Devil, which can show that there could be an unnecessary or a less satisfactory cycle that could be coming back into your life. I see you succeeding and being able to fight this quote-unquote devil card because it's reversed. Three of Pentacles in reverse showing that the sooner you work through this, the more you can kind of pay attention to financial success, and also making sure that you take a look at all the advocates in your life and make sure that they're truly understanding what you're looking for. For health, pay attention to your surroundings and make sure that your house is clean, that everything's fixed, that you feel comfortable in it. It's not so much about decoration as it is energy. Also pay attention to your intimate relationships, because family is also home. And if something's out of whack, then you need to sort of like bring it back into balance. For wealth, focus on healing and improving. Don't beat yourself up over anything that isn't satisfactory. This is a month of repair and looking to the future. We went into deep detail on twin flames. Be aware of difficult relationships in your life and know that some of them are coming to you to teach you a very profound life lesson. And sometimes the most difficult relationships are those that are twin flames. So if you're in that, then understand that and appreciate it. And if you're not, then work with the ethereal twin flame, who is actually only here to bring you love and insight, and they can work with you on an intuitive level. Finally, I want you to really spend some time this month asking yourself, what do I want to do when I grow up? I don't care if you're 8, if you're 88, if you're somewhere in between. We're always growing up, and we're always reevaluating what it is that we truly sort of think is our purpose. Don't think that you only have one chance to do that when you're a little kid. You should always be reevaluating and using your own soul's compass to get back on that path. All right, that's going to sum up everything for this month. Hopefully you found it insightful, and if you have more questions or would like a one-on-one reading, then I will put a link in one of the corners, or you can click the info button if you're on a mobile device, and there'll be ways to contact me. I also encourage you to subscribe to the channel if you found this useful. That's the easiest way to know when the videos are published each month. You can also join my newsletter, however, or join up with me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I'm on all of those social networks. And finally, I just want to say thank you, because I have a great community here where there's a lot of support and feedback. So keep those great comments, all the subscribes and the likes coming through. It is a wonderful way to know that this is causing a positive sort of effect in the world. And finally, if you did find this useful and feel like donating, I'll put a button at the end for that as well. That's optional though. So thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again real soon. 1 month's time. Bye-bye. Sana.